I think many people don't know that you need to apply for a temporary resident visa. Don't try to travel. Don't try to travel with just that paper. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ebon. If it's your first time here on this channel, you're welcome, and I hope you subscribe before you leave. If it's not your first time, thank you so much for coming back again. And if it's not your first time but you haven't subscribed, you don't like, you don't comment, this 2024, you already know what to do. Like, this is free, just do it, please. Okay, I'm not, please, actually. please subscribe if you haven't. If you enjoy the content, I would love to know what you think in the comments. Anyway, I'm loving my new background. I love it so much. I decided to try something different, and I think it looks good, at least from what I can see on the camera. Let me not talk too much, but just the process of me trying to be consistent. I'm trying new things, and just to see what I can make work, what will make me feel comfortable, what will make me eager to film. So yeah, that's why I'm trying a new background, but I hope you like it. If you do, leave a comment for me. Anyway, today's video we're going to be talking about how to apply for your temporary resident visa. I don't know if many people know that, but yeah, we're going to be discussing that. I think many people don't know that you need to apply for a temporary resident visa. Once your study permit is expired, or like your study visa is expired, actually, basically when you get your work permit. So that's the postgraduate work permit, right? So this visa is more like a visitor visa, if I would say, but it basically allows you to, how many times do I say basically? But it allows you to travel out of Canada and come back into Canada, while you're on your work permit. Because technically, when you're done with school and they give you your postgraduate work permit, it's just the paper, right? It's just like the study permit as well. So it's not like they ask for your passport to stamp anything. Don't try to travel. Don't try to travel with just that paper. I'm not sure they'll stop you when you're going out, because you're free to go, but when you're coming back inside, you might face problems, right? So basically, it just lets you travel out of Canada and come back into Canada. And of course, another thing to note is that even when you apply for it and you have it stamped on your passport and you're traveling, make sure to take your work permit with you, because that's like extra proof that you're a worker, because they'll ask for it at the border. Typically they do. But however, if you know that you wouldn't need to travel out for vacations or to visit family or whatever it is, if you don't need to travel out of Canada, maybe until you get your PR, then you may not need to bother, to be honest. I had to, because I had planned to go to Nigeria, so that was the time I went to Nigeria, so I had to apply for it just before I traveled, just so I can come back inside. I don't want to get stuck outside Canada. I would be like, who wants to? So basically, this video, I'm just going to do a walkthrough. I'm going to log into my IRCC and we're going to try to apply together. So I'll just walk you through the process, that questionnaire before you get to the documents you need. I'll just walk you through what to select, because to be honest, it can be tricky. The very first time I tried to apply, I got it wrong, and I submitted the application and they approved it, but they gave me a visitor record. They gave me a visitor record, not the TRV, not the temporary resident visa. So I had to apply again, and of course another like $100 or so. So that's why I'm walking through the video, because I don't know if many people do know that, but I've made the mistake before. I know people that made the mistake as well. So I hope this video will be helpful. So let's get to the walkthrough. Okay, so I'm just gonna log in right now. Right, so I'm in. So basically, of course, you log into the CIC portal, the login. You already know your username and password. Like if you're a student, it's just the same login process. I'm not gonna show that process, but typically you're gonna scroll down to apply to come to Canada. You already know this. You should be familiar with this kind of step if of course, you've applied before. So right here, we're going to click on this link, visitor visa, study and or work permit. And here you have to just answer some questions, right? So what would you like to do in Canada? The options here: study, visit, move, work. Of course, you're not going to choose move, but here we're going to choose work, right? I know. So it's basically a visa that lets you travel in and out of Canada, but then what are you doing in Canada? So this is if you already have your postgraduate work permit. Not really if you're a student. I don't know. If you're a student, then you select study. If you now have a postgraduate work permit, you're done with school, then you select work. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? So it will be temporarily more than 6 months, not less than 6 months. Select the code that matches with your passport. So I'm Nigerian. We're gonna find that right here. What is your current country or territory of residence? So since I'm in Canada and I'm actually living in Canada, I'm just traveling out, I'm going to select Canada. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident? If you do, say yes. If you don't, say no. So for the purpose, I'm just going to say no. What is your date of birth? Just select any. What? Let's just select anything. So if I put 1996, I'm just going to put March and put March 3. I believe that's the date you guys are going to watch this video. And then you click next. And then the next question is, are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? If you are, congratulations to you. Yes, if not, you just say no. So I'll just say no for this step. What is your current immigration status in Canada? So I'm a worker, I just have a work permit. So you select worker. If you're a student, then select student. So I'll select worker and go to the next. Does any of the following apply to you? Subject of a removal order, apply for which was approved but not issued. I'm in permit, I'm applying for an open work permit on an active policy. I'm a student who has come with blah blah blah. I apply for So in this case, I'm gonna say no. Doesn't really apply. Most times it doesn't, but if it does to you, read the questions well. If it does to you, just say yes. Are you a spouse of that? No, I'm not a spouse. I'm the permit applicant, so I'm going to say no. Are you a spouse of of the person who is any of these categories? If it applies to you, say yes, but for this case, I'm going to say no. Are you a spouse or a common law partner of an accredited? I'm going to say no for this. But make sure you're just reading the questions and everything. This question marks, as you know, give more details. So if you need to be sure before you provide an answer, just make sure you check correctly. Don't say because everyone selected no. If you apply, you say yes. Have you been told by an immigration office that you are approved in principle for a permanent resident? If you have, say yes, but in this case, I'm just going to say no. Have you submitted a permanent resident application in Canada? If you have, say yes. If you haven't, say no. Do you have a written job offer? In this case, I'm going to say no. Go next. Does the situation apply to you? So read the situation. You have a valid employer specific work permit and are being abused, or there's a risk of being abused. Nope. Don't be our portion in Jesus' name. Amen. So what's your marital status? Select your marital status. Never married, single. What is your province or territory of destination? So the current province where you are living in. So I'm gonna select Ontario for this. We'll go next, and then you'd see that you qualify for the temporary resident visa. So I'm gonna just do continue here, and you're almost there. Am I the only one, or Canada asks a lot of questions, to be honest? So the next one is, which of the following best describes your situation? So let's see. I have a study permit for a specific institution. I have a study permit. I have a work permit restricted to a specific employer. I have an open work permit. So you just select I have an open work permit. That's the postgraduate work permit. It's not restricted to any employer. But if for any reason yours is restricted, then select the previous option. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC doctor or physician within the last 12 months? I'm going to say no, because what if I've been here schooling for a year and I came 2 months before I came? Basically, I'm going to say no. It's okay. I don't think they require a medical exam for that, but yeah, so typically, a medical exam is needed before some bar for foreign nationals who want to stay in Canada for more than 6 months, and you've lived in other countries for more than 6 months in the past year, or if you're into health-related jobs. So I would say I don't fit in this category for this example, but if you do, then yes. If you're in health sciences worker, for example, or laboratory worker, you probably would want to say yes just because of the second scenario. And then, do you want to work in one of the following jobs? The same health related job, or people that take care of the elderly or disabled people? In this case, I'm going to say no. You go next. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? So no. So that's if maybe you and your spouse, or you and your child, things like that. You can say yes for that, and you have to answer some additional questions. But in this case, I'm just going to say no. Are you going to give someone access to your application? No. In the last 10 years, have you given your fingerprint and photos? So yes. Of course, if I apply for a study permit, I did give my biometrics. So would you be paying your fees? Yes, I'll be paying my fees. I wish I was exempt, but I'm not. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents? Yes. Just because you're going to upload your documents, right? Will you be paying your fees online? I said yes. And then you can review your answers. At this stage, you can make any updates. If you made any mistakes, you click this pencil icon and you can update the options. And then I'll just click continue. This is just telling you the steps. And there you have it, your document checklist, right? So you'd have to fill this document. You have to download this in Adobe Reader and fill through, and then come back and upload. You guys get the gist of it, right? You apply for a study visa, and then the good thing about this is it's not as stressful as if you apply for a study permit or a study visa, because you have to upload a lot of documents. So you can see the supporting documents here, just 3. So what you need is to upload your work permit, or if you're a student, your study permit, you upload it right here. You upload your passport and you upload the digital photo. Typically, you can use the same digital photo you used in your previous application. And then you have to download this in Adobe Reader and fill out this form as well and re-upload it. And then if you do have any client information, additional information, if you want to put your bank statements, if you want to write a letter of explanation, whatever it is you want to do, you can do that. Mesh that in one file and put that in under the client information section right here. And then you'd see the fees. So it's $100. You don't need to pay for biometrics again, because you've technically done that when you apply for a student visa. Okay, so that's basically the walkthrough. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Like, not too much details required, not too much effort required. So I hope this video is really helpful. Typically, once you submit that, they're kind of about to approve, they will send you a passport request letter. So just similar to when you apply for a study visa or your work visa, if you came here directly as a worker. So they would ask you for your passport. They'll send you that passport request letter. With instructions as well. So what you need to do is to print that passport request letter and take your passport, your international passport, and go to Canada Post. There is usually an address that you would use to mail your passport, but typically you'd have to purchase 2 envelopes, right? One to go and a return envelope as well, so that when they stamp your passport, they will return it back in that envelope. Nothing in Canada is free. So you're going to pay for the envelope to send your passport back as well. The address that you need to mail this to, details are also going to be in the description box, so be sure to check that out. But just know that you can always ask the Canada Post representative there. They will help you. They already know how it goes, so yeah, they will help you with any questions that you have regarding mailing your passport and all of that. A tip I would say is, when you get the envelope and they process everything like the Canada Post, just take a picture of the envelope with the tracking number, because that's how you can track progress of your passport, right, when they're sending it back, so you can track. And I think also when they're taking it there, so just take a picture of the tracking numbers and just keep them and keep tracking them. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Let me know if you do have any questions and any video suggestions as well. Happy to help out. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.